It's me, Sarah Burns, and the Invisibles here from Salt Spring Island, Canada. So grateful to be able to hold space for our 54th episode, I believe. So this is an opportunity for you to come and either offer or just receive the transmissions, knowing that a lot of these guidance, a lot of what comes through is really can speak to you as well, whether or not your story has been shared. There are so many stories that are so similar that there can be universal truths that come forth. So I'm just going to set the intention that all beings here that receive any guidance, any inspiration, any motivation or support are doing so in regards to being a vessel, an opportunity for you to be of greater service to your dharma and to your path in this life, in your work with your community, your friends, your family, and this planet. And so that is why I show up here every day, is to support this growth and this expansion. Each person that I connect with and we connect with. So that being said, I just want to say hello to everyone popping on. We've got Clifford and Katie and Andrew and Amy. Welcome. So I'm just going to set the space. And so honoring the great Trinity. So the great beneath, thanking the great beneath, the planet, the structures that hold life together, the foundations of our life, for being here with us. I want to thank the great beyond, the celestial realms, the unseen allies and support that we have, spirit plane, friends, our ancestors, star beings, angelic ones, the planets, and that expansiveness that's needed to see that eagle eye perspective of our lives and of what is occurring. And lastly, for anyone who wants to put their hands on their heart, I want to thank you. I want to thank your great within, the stories that you hold dear, that are here to bring forth into this world, your memories, your experiences, your joys, your pain, your desires, your dreams. Knowing that your great within is very important and so welcome here in its authenticity. So that being said, I'm going to ring this bell and bring us into opening of our gathering. So how this works for anyone that's new is that you're welcome to put a question on the thread, and I will get to it as much as I can get to in the hour that I have allotted to do this work. And then I have to go get my daughter from childcare. And so I start with my first question. And so what's alive for me today is exploring defensiveness and exploring these patterns that come up in our lives that seem to almost override our overall desires, our overall choice on how we want to show up in the world, show up in our relationship. And this came up for me personally this morning, where I realized that even though I know this pattern I have of defensiveness that can come up when I feel like I have to protect my reason for doing things, or if somebody is seeing something that I don't believe is truthful, or I have another perspective on it, this part of me that's like, I need to defend this so that they'll feel better about the situation because they'll know what really happened or what I saw happen. And I realized that even that act of doing that actually was the last thing that was really needed in that situation. And so it made me kind of dig into what is it to be able to step back and notice our patterns and change them and make that conscious choice to, if not change them, to at least step back for a moment and not let them, make their cycles and routines in our lives, specifically patterns that are challenging or that are destructive or sabotaging, which I felt came up for me. So this is asking the Invisibles about if they have any guidance around breaking habitual patterns within ourselves that are destructive or sabotaging to the outcome and the desire we really seek and the lifestyle we seek in this life. I'm going to start with that, and then I'm going to get to everyone else's questions from there. So here we go. Oh, hi, Donald. Hey, Viola. You are not your patterns. But what if we said that your patterns are the blueprint to learning who you are? Because amidst the patterns that you've either inherited, that you have never squelched, that have been supported by the world around you, to find out who you are beyond those patterns is very powerful, because it's in that decision that ripple effect, that domino effect that has been occurring in your life, that ricocheting that can happen. Happens to also teach you about what you truly believe in. In this case, if you truly believe in being right, then those patterns will continue. Those patterns of validating oneself, of defending what you believe in. But if you want to shift into the pattern of being able to honor what's needed of you to hold space for, and what's needed of you to be able to hold space for another person, so that you can listen to the delicacy before you in the experience and tailor your responses in accordance to that unique situation. When people come to you with their vulnerable truths, whether or not those truths are sweet, succulent, delicious truths, perhaps they're sour, perhaps they're painful truths, for somebody to actually share what they are feeling needs to be respected. So for anyone watching that is experiencing any defensiveness that comes up as needing to be right, this is a prayer. I honor my own internal validation and compass, while simultaneously creating spaciousness to receive and witness another's unique internal compass and navigation. I respect that truth has many forms, and I am open to being witness to the many truths that create this life in order to live in greater balance. Thank you. All right, so that was a little bit about my question around how to change out of patterns, specifically of defensive patterns that can come up in us. So let's see who's here, and we'll go in the order. We've got Sophia. Hey, sweetie. We've got Holly and Clifford. So the first question we have, Katie says, I'm so excited for today's show. I've missed the past few weeks. Excited to have you here, Katie. And for everyone that's new, this happens every week. So Sophia says, I'm curious as to what the Invisibles have to say around grounded, activating, and growing deeper into myself, my boundaries, my love, and expression around work, play, and life. Thanks, and sorry if that's vague. Oh, that's not vague. All right. So exploring for Sophia, they have anything to say around grounded, activating, growing deeper into herself, her boundaries, her love, and her expression. All right, let's see if they have a message for you. interesting. At first I was hearing something like don't go through the hole, go around the hole. And then I was like, what are you talking about? And I saw this image of almost like a sewer grate, or like what are those? They're like those big circles on, sidewalks, or like that the people can, the city can open up and you can go into the sewer system. And I had this image of like you and like this, sometimes this desire to like go into those deep, mysterious parts of yourself, right? So if the sewer represents, like these underground catacombs and chasms where all the shit goes, quite literally, that there can be this desire to, almost can go in, like potentially desire to like explore, like what is in there? What is in this under? But what they're kind of showing is that, and that can be different qualities in your life, whatever you feel like that relates to, but that it might be supportive to, like, they're kind of showing this image of like, if you could get lost in it, right? So sometimes in doing personal work, what can happen is there can be this point where one needs to actually like step back from going that deep into themselves and the stories and what's coming up, because in that getting lost, it actually can defeat the purpose of going that deep, which is to learn yourself more. And so what they're kind of showing is that manhole covers, that's what they're called. Watch out, don't go into the manhole cover. And so they're kind of showing this image of how can you notice maybe that pattern to like either get sucked into other people. Like it could also be something related to other people. So if other people have this like deep kind of hidden self stuff going on that you're just almost drawn to, like they're showing this image of you being like so curious and drawn to it, but realizing that your path is to, that's not where your greatest service necessarily at this point in your life. It feels like for you, that's interesting. For you, they're showing this image of like you're of greatest service, like welcoming people to come out from that part. So if there's other people that have been lost or have been just in those deep, like hidden parts of themselves, those underworld aspects, and it's like they're showing this image of you being able to like almost like welcome them out, but without going down there yourself. And how you can do that is, it's interesting. They're kind of showing me something about like they're saying communication therapy, but there's something about, I know that you work with songs. Sophia is an amazing musician. I encourage you guys to check out her music, but I'm not quite sure what they're showing me. It's like they're showing that there's like this other aspect of your work, and in the form of, as you're working with music and finding your songs and creating, there's also this importance of realizing your capacity to hold space for other people to find their voice, and how to voice parts of themselves that may feel buried, and that there is like this nature in you to help surface these qualities without getting fully drowned by them. So maybe that's something to, I know you were doing like a song workshop at one point, which I could see being similar, but maybe more like smaller groups. And it could even be like exploring people through like a series, like maybe doing like a three-part series where people can like do on like I just see kind of like this deeper journey to help people kind of find their voice, and maybe a song will come out of it, but even just helping people bring this communication therapy into their lives. And I mean, I don't know what that means to you, but that's what I'm seeing. So blessings to you, my dear. Aloha. So moving on. Today I'm going to do this new thing where I write down the list of people. This should save me time. So next we've got Holly. And then we've got Clifford. You're welcome, Sophia. And then we've got Andrew. So that'll be and then after Andrew, we've got Ellen. And after Ellen, we've got Fiona. So let's see if we can get all those in today. All right, so, and hello everyone popping on. We've got Amy. Amy, you're after Viola, by the way. All right, so this is Holly's. So Holly's saying, finally found you again. Started reading me. You started reading me last time, and as soon as you started talking about my nose, I lost the live, and you couldn't find you anywhere. Oh dear, look at that cute little nose right there in your picture. I guess that's not a question, so I'm going to keep going, actually. I'm glad you found me, Holly. So next then, we've got Clifford here. Okay, so Clifford says, having some physical discomfort associated with a knee injury, been going on for a while, and difficulty sleeping. All right, so let's explore if there's any understanding on how we could explore your knee injury. Something that somebody taught me once was that the knee, at least in Chinese medicine, is actually the storehouse of emotions. I've thought of that because I've gotten knee injuries always at very interesting times. It's also represents like moving forward in life and your ability to like, it depends on what side too, but like especially the right side is a lot about like moving forward and forward motion. And sometimes when people get knee injuries, it can also be there's some part of yourself that's possibly having a challenge moving forward or is like resisting some sort of growth that's about to happen as a potential. So let's see what they have to say. I should also check that you're here still before doing the reading. Clifford, are you here? Just double checking. Sometimes people leave, so. Awesome, perfect. Okay, so let's read for you, Clifford, about this knee injury. I'm gonna close these while we're. Wait. What we can explore is related to what's going on in your body as a result of being injured. And how are you relating these experiences to who you are as a result of them? One thing that we can see is that within, they're kind of talking out. I having to be transparent. I like posted this. I posted this somewhere where I'm not supposed to offer any medical suggestions or any body readings. So I'm just trying to. Me and the Invisibles are working with how to honor me agreeing to that. Okay, we can do it this way. You're welcome to have a side job, so to speak. Perhaps that side job could be personal development, could be exploring liberation, could be developing yourself in these profound ways. But what we're noticing is that there is this part of you that wants to bring more of yourself to the forefront of your life work. And when we see this knee, we're noticing that there is an experience around not being able to bring your full self forward in this life. Whether it is feeling that the body is not able to hold your full self, or perhaps your environment or your lifestyle, or there's something about this. For the knee is a place in the body where truth about who you are lays, because it represents momentum and motion. It represents allowing yourself to experience this life. And so in order to support whatever you're doing already in healing this, we suggest they're kind of popping out. They're like showing this image of like the word I'm hearing something about like expectations, and it's making me think of almost like perhaps expectations about yourself and or desired outcome of like, well, what would showing up for your full self look like? And kind of they're showing this expectation that feels like maybe it doesn't feel like it's actually possible in this life. And so there's this like withholding of taking, and if this not, if none of this relates, then I totally respect you all. And with anything I ever say for anyone, to really use your own internal truth parameter to make sure what's important for you to hear. But they're kind of showing like, what if you were able to lower your expectations a bit of what that would look like and feel like to take that side job, and embody it more in this life. And it doesn't necessarily have to, because they're showing like this image of like these expectations could possibly be getting in the way of you even taking these next steps in your life. Like there's something, there's something like in 2018, there's something that feels like, I don't know if it's an opportunity that's coming up or that's going to be coming up like more like mid-November. There's something happening, but that it's like this part of you that almost wants to overachieve or to become something that maybe is actually feels the more that you invest that desire, the further away it can feel until you can acknowledge, well, where are you now in your current situation? Same thing with your knee. It's like you may want to jump and roll and somersault and climb trees right now. But where are you now, and what can you do with where you're at now? And how can you honor and respect where you're at now as and also an expression of you bringing your full self, right? With the current situation, because they're showing that there's some sort of thing that's going to happen in tandem with whatever medical support you're getting or whatever you're doing on a physical level with this healing process. To assist you in that would also be helping yourself realize that you in this process of healing is also part of you showing up and doing your work in this planet. And with this acceptance and with realizing that it's not like that you're not out of the game, you're not out of this life mission that you're here to do because you're in pain, that's part, that how you address this pain is very much part of the work. And if you can respect that and honor that in yourself, it's actually going to help with the pain. And if you also have to ask that pain to reveal to you more on how you could be supportive of its transitioning in your dream world or in more guidance, then you can do that as well. So that's for you, and blessings to just soothing that experience that you're having in this body. Thank you. I also wonder, if acupuncture or working on it would be helpful too. So moving on, we've got Andrew Martin. Says, hi Sarah. Hey Sarah, today is my 3-year-old daughter's birthday. Her name is Lucia and she is our little light. Any messages for our family or guidance for a still pretty green dad? Are you still here, Andrew, by any chance, before I go into reading? Andrew, are you here? Andrew Martin. Yes, fabulous. Okay. And that's so lovely. It's your daughter's birthday. It's like the day you became a father. That's big. Oh, you're so welcome, Clifford. All right. So this is if there's any guidance, for Andrew to be, very supportive to him and his role in his family. Your need for success through action is not as important as your need for success through compassion. And why we bring this up is that there are ways that you can show up more so for your little girl, for your child, that honors where you're at in your own energy levels, where your capacity, while creating space to rekindle this flame of play and fun and creativity in your life, even more so. And something that you can explore in creating activities is helping her understand her relationship to the natural world and the beauty and the majesticness, if you're not already doing that already, of nature. Something that we're seeing too is, they're not popping out. They're like showing me all these, I'm seeing all this image of like this little girl like picking all these little flowers, like these bright little flowers that are all over the place. And I'm not sure what your belief systems are, but or if you support communicating about fairies, but I'm kind of seeing like almost like maybe you've already done this, but like creating like some sort of little fairy world with her, or like this place where you can bring in this magic or this connection to these elemental beings. And you can even just say nature spirits. Some people actually don't want to support that, but from the Irish lineage that I have, we are all about the fae. So this image of like bringing yourself into this deeper connection with that relationship with the elementals. And so ways of bringing that in, and if this is something that you're interested in too, ways that you could do that is like, creating a little fair. I don't know where you live or if you have what your home is like, but depending on your situation, if you have like even just like a little backyard, like creating a little like fairy home out there with her, like something that's out there that you can build on, and unless you already have this, and that you can go, like I just see you picking little flowers and like little offerings for the fairies and or the wee folk or whatever, or the elemental beings, and that how that could, it feels like just restoring, bringing this like excitement and this magic and this wonder, or helping foster that could be really beautiful. And if that doesn't make sense to you, if that doesn't resonate, you can just finding ways of like fostering her connection and her like excitement with the natural world is really important. Because I do feel like there's something like, it feels like there is something that is like taking her, I don't know if it's taking her out of that a bit, or like, yeah, or if there's like it feels like I'm seeing like some sort of thing that's like, I don't know if it's a stress or something that's like affect, it just feels like there's something affecting her that could use a little more yeah, like color and joy and play from you. Maybe she's also picking up on something, I'm not sure, but so that's to be a little gift for your daughter if you so choose, connecting with the natural world more and creating a place where she can have a relationship with magic and mystery and wonder. And that can also be in a park too, or forest if you go to Ravine as well, or it could just be inside, like in her room. All right, thank you. So moving on. First, I want to welcome everyone that has popped on since we began. This is Sarah Burns and the Invisibles, and we are here every Wednesday from 2:30 to 3:30 Pacific Standard Time. So if you are here, welcome. And if you haven't put a question on, we're going to get to as many as we can. And Andrew says here, he says, thanks, Sarah. That does make a lot of sense. Let me show that. Oh, wonderful. Okay. So this is for Ellen. Ellen, my dear, are you here? Now we'll start reading your question while I'm waiting to see if you're here. Hello. Hi, Sarah and the Invisibles. I've had a health crisis and I'm still in a lot of pain. Seems my bones structure are very weak, arthritis and osteoporosis, and are creating a lot of pain in my body. I feel like I've aged 20 years and this Friday is my birthday. I want to heal. Can the Invisibles give me any insight? Creating a lot. Okay. Are you here, Ellen Kane? Because Ellen, my dear, if you are not here, I'm not going to read for you. Ellen Kane, are you here? It's your turn. All right. And we are going to pass over in the next few seconds. Okay. So the next question that we have is from Viola. And then just so people know what's queued, we've got Viola and then we've got Amy next. And then after Amy, we still have time. We have Katie. I'm going to put you on my list. And while I'm waiting, Viola, are you here while I'm just going and creating this list? Oh, you are here, Ellen. Oh, good. Why didn't that show up? I've been waiting for you. Okay, well then, Ellen, my dear, if you are here, I'm gonna get back to you. Oh, Viola's here too. No, I didn't. I was calling for you, Ellen, for a while, and you didn't say anything, so I was just about to pass over you, but I can do you right now. So, he said, more info. Last week, I got out of my car and couldn't stand up. All day, I was in excruciating pain. Eventually took myself to the ER. Found out that there was arthritis in my hips, as I knew I had had it in my left knee. My chiropractor helped me to be able to stand erect again, but the pain, but the pin in my left hip, the pain in my left hip and lower back doesn't go away. Okay. So let's explore that for you, Ellen. I'm trying to understand, it's like if they want me to describe this, like they're talking about bones and how bones like kind of represent like what, like almost the structure that holds all of us together, right? Like that the bones are yeah, they're like the foundation of our whole body is in the bones. And that there's some sort of, like in this, seeing it on a more spiritual quality when you think of arthritis, and when the density is actually, when there's less density in the bones and there's weakening of the bones, they're showing like how during those times it's like there's something about that substance in who you are and what holds you together, but also what holds your life purpose together, and is really important to explore. And because as you can explore what's in the very center of the foundation of your life that drives you, that pushes you, that motivates you, that there's some sort of connection with your capacity for your bones to be able to hold that vision in your life. And let's see what else they have to say. Your heart is in the right place. Your desires for growth, for evolution, from continual expansion is in the right place. But how you're going about it, that's what could be adjusted. To be able to create the substance and the sustenance in your life that supports the desired outcomes you seek, whether it's as simple as having a healthy life, having a happy life, feeling comfort in your body, feeling creativity flowing through you, feeling comfort in being creative. For you, we're noticing that there are ways that your body has been not feeling as supported as it could be. And it's almost this pulling from the fabric, pulling from the foundation of yourself into different areas of your body, into different areas of your life, without replenishing that. So what is it to replenish purpose? To renew your sense of purpose, to renew and fill and fuel the structure that you're creating your life on, because there is a constant change that is happening. And just because you have felt clear on what you desire, there still can be this space of renewing that structure and that foundation in your own life. So some homework for you and for anyone else that has experienced this feeling of weakness in the body, weakness in the mind. The mind being even creating, patterns, cycles that are destructive or manipulative, is to let go and be open to rewriting those vows to yourself in this life. And that can be something that you can do personally, or you can communicate with some close ones. Perhaps you already have things that you've written out from before, and going over them and choosing what still relates, what's alive for you now. And what can you do from this place of discomfort as well, to bring forth more experiences that touch on that bring forth that aliveness, that bring forth that feeling of being fueled and filled. Thank you. Wow, I just got so tired. Oh my goodness. Sometimes it happens. So that's for you, Ellen, my dear. And blessings to this strengthening of your body, for sure. I feel like I'm going to ring this bell just to wake me up a bit. You can also let the sound can bring its healing and its cleansing to your space. So the next question we have is from Viola, who is still here. She just shared earlier. So she says, hi everyone. Well, yesterday I totaled my car in an accident. My hood came up into my windshield and blocked my vision. I was living out of my car, so I have no home and no way to move around or savings. I felt I was doing great actually, finally. Oh, you're so welcome, Ellen. What is this pause of surrender? Was I going to a wrong direction? Is that why I have to step back? I know the invisibles tell me I am a treadmill. Uh, it's hard now not to be eager to act, to manifest, to replace the loss. But should I just take it slow and listen? It will all come then. I was getting ready to go home. It felt like feels like I just sit right where I'm at. It's interesting because like the first feeling I had was something that's come up for me sometimes in life, and I don't know if this relates, but in life sometimes when we are actually going in this really good place, because I feel like we've all, for anyone that's been with us, Viola, on this journey too, she's just got her green, she got her green card or her papers in, and we've had so many success things of seeing like this journey of you and feeling, and I've been feeling like, wow, you're in this great place right now, and it would be something to explore, like what possibly is there anything that's getting in the way of you being able to fully just enjoy these, when we come into these great places, because like for me the image of the hood too, of like blocking your view, is that what you're saying? The hood came up into my windshield and it blocked my vision. It's like it feels like maybe there's something that's like getting in the way of you seeing clearly, and so for you it's like, I know you were so excited to go home, and if you have that plane ticket, I mean, if anything, this is like, I'm almost seeing this is an opportunity to like, well, it depends. Like, do you have the plane ticket? Are you able to go home? Because if you're able to go home already, if you have this ticket, it feels like it could actually just be like a really awesome, just a fresh start to like just go home and be with your family and be nurtured for a little bit. And though I understand that, oh, Amy says she's here. Hi, Amy. You're after Viola. She says, let's see. I'm grateful to be healthy. No plane ticket yet. Green card isn't here yet. Okay. I mean, the other potential is perhaps there's something about you needing to transition out of living in your vehicle too, or transition, like if you're able to see it in this other way of like, how can this in the long run, I know it must freaking suck, oh my gosh, but how can you call forth to the support of friends and family right now to maybe give you another living opportunity or something that works better for where you're at, for your needs. This is me just kind of feeling into the situation, but let's see what the invisibles have to say, and then we'll get on. Because I think we've got Amy and Kate after this. So let me just be quick with this. There's like some sort of like Spanish name. I don't know if it's like Ernesto or Eduardo, like those in that kind of world. It's like the feeling that they're just showing me is that there's some sort of like re-navigating that's happening, and that this is just like, even though it's a big kind of shake, in the longer term, there's something that this opportunity is like re-navigating you to be able to align with. And so maybe even exploring, like, as awesome as living in your vehicle was, perhaps that wasn't your ideal situation, and And this is an opportunity to explore what is something that's more ideal, that you can really, that is less, yeah, like what's something more ideal that you can explore, and how can you find that? Yeah, I'm having a harder time reading you today for some reason, but that's a little bit of what I saw. So blessings to you. And that your journey in integrating this, Olive. Maybe somebody has a cool car that's just sitting around that you could use. All right. So it is 3:22. I end at 3:30. So that we're gonna get to Amy over here. You're welcome, Viola. So Amy, who's, I think she just, I'm pretty sure you're here because I just saw you mention something earlier. Amy Kaywood says, hi, Sarah. I'm not sure what questions you answer, but if you can answer this for me, trying to conceive for a few months for our last baby and never had any issues before. I was wondering if I'll be successful by next month trying for a boy. Well, thing is, so I did this thing this week where I was experimenting posting this somewhere. It looks like they haven't actually approved my post. So maybe I'll just read you how I normally would. But some of the agreements was that I'm not supposed to talk about pregnancy or do pregnancy readings. But these are my rules because I don't think they're going to post it because I forgot something. So let's see. Our last baby and never had any issues. The first feeling is like, what are you doing to connect with the soul of this being? What is your relationship with actually, what is the relationship that you have with the soul of this being? Because sometimes for me, in my experience of conception and conscious conception, is realizing that there are so many different souls that want to be born into this planet, amazing souls, but who is the soul that you feel like most aligned with bringing in? And not everyone can reach that point where you can make that conscious choice, but what are you doing to welcome the soul of that being in? Like, it's one thing to be focusing on the physical way of, like tracking your schedule, following your ovulation, really lining up very physical, like in the physical world. But I'm curious what you're doing on the spiritual plane to actually line up this passageway for this being, and how are you creating space in your own self to be able to receive. It's like the image I'm seeing is like, it's almost like there's this being that is holding a certain frequency that feels like, in order for you to be able to open to hold that, you kind of need to also be inviting to them in your own way. And so take this however you want, but what can you do in your own self to start raising your frequency? And we have GS Lena. Hi there. So what can you do in your own self to start raising your frequency? And whether it's through practices, whether it's through breath work, having space to even like toning, like I'm seeing like toning your abdomen, like even actually strengthening your lower abdomen muscles are really good for you for some reason. Maybe it's like your lower dantian is where a lot of power, a lot of energy is stored. It's also close to the womb. But this image I'm seeing is like filling your body with energy and finding ways of being like an inviting place energetically too for this being, because that's also part of conception in my experience, because I went through a really amazing journey with conscious conception. And what that means, it was like a 5-year journey of going through working with souls, going through working with the body, going through working with belief patterns, and just all these layers that come up when we're creating space for a child. It can be this really amazing experience. Hopefully, thankfully you're trying, which is, even that's such a blessing to be doing this consciously. But knowing that there's things that you can do energetically to make your body more vibrant and alive for this soul to come through. So I don't know if that's helpful, but I encourage that. And for me, it's like, I can't really say next month or next month. It's more like, how are you developing your body and yourself to and your spirit and your prayers in a way that connects with this little soul. If you also want to even like make a little altar for them, that could be sweet, like a little invitational altar in your house where you can light a candle for them, bring some flowers for them, you know, just something that helps them feel more invited. I just feel like even though you really are desiring this, there's almost like these little extra tokens of inviting their spirit and their soul that feels like it could be really supportive. All right. And there's something about Gemini. I don't know what that is. I guess we're all right. So we've got the last person we have on the list is Katie. Katie Barrington. Are you still here? Oh, let's see. So for anyone popping on, by the way, oh, you're welcome, Amy. Blessings. And definitely send me a word when little baby comes in. And celebrate. So for anyone that's popping on, we only have space for one more question. So I'm just waiting to hear if Katie is here. She's the last person on this list. And then I know people have come in after that, but I need to get to my childcare in I have to leave in 3 minutes, 5 minutes. So if Katie, my dear, are you here? Well, I'm waiting to see if you're here. Katie, you say, hey, Sarah, my question is just for any guidance in my life. I'm about to lose my home and I thought things were getting better, but it doesn't seem like that. You never know. The world has a roundabout way. Well, Katie, my dear, if you are not here, I'm just going to say that we are passing on you and going to this next person. Oh, Donnie had said, just wanted to say hi. It's good seeing you today. Sending lots of love and light. Yay. So the next person that we've got new people today. We've got Heather Doctor that popped on. GS Lena, my dear, I don't know if we're going to get to you unless Christy's not here. Christy D. Felice, are you here? Oh, Katie, you're still here. Oh my gosh, I just about went over you. Oh, and Christy's here. Whoa. I don't know what protocol I should have. Maybe I'm a sucker. I feel like Katie, I'm going to read you, but in the future, I need to be more on top of that. If you don't say yes, I'm just going to keep going. All right. So in that case, Katie, you are the last question. Sorry for that. Oh, she is here. Maybe it just doesn't pop up for a while. Okay. And so for anyone this question is not getting read tonight, which is GS Lena, I believe, and Christy, I can't make it due to childcare arrangements, but feel free to pop on next week. Or if you want to have a 30-minute, I'm doing 30-minute by donation soul consultations, distance, or here in my office every Wednesday. So if you want to just schedule like a little deep soul experience with me and the Invisibles, and we can do Skype or FaceTime, that's super welcome as well. So this is for Katie. Hey, Sarah. My question today is just for any guidance in my life. I'm about to lose my home and I thought things were getting better, but it doesn't seem like that. Okay. That's interesting. The thing I first heard was I was hearing you're harboring guilt about a relationship, but that guilt is, what are they saying? It's like, oh my God, I'm so tired. I'm almost seeing like this, some sort of guilt or some sort of thing that's coming through. And like, I almost see this energy in your lower abdomen. It's like this gray energy of like this draining quality. And so that could also be connected to with like, you know, if home is getting, if you have things happening around home, there's, you know, it's a lot of foundation stuff. And if you can explore like for me, the lower part of the body is also about like the foundation, like a seat of the rest of your body. It's what holds the rest up. But oh, you think there's a leg in the feet, she says. Okay. There might be a leg in the feet. I'm just going to keep reading you quickly. The simple guidance I have for you right now is to continue to reestablish your connection with your grounding to the planet. Because what I'm seeing is like there's like this need for like some sort of direction of your energy to feel support and groundedness. And with this home and things that are happening, it's like it can be easy to be like, oh, like up in the air and this nervousness and what's next, all that what next feeling. But one thing that you can do is just centering and grounding into your relationship with this earth as this huge essence that is so abundant and thriving and capable and creates itself and creates home and creates food, and in possibly working with your prayers, praying to that same energy that the earth represents too, and asking for the earth to help you navigate yourself to a place where you could be of greatest service and a home that would actually suit you in this evolution that you're in. Because kind of what I'm seeing, similar with like Viola, is like sometimes when we have these places that represent home that are taken from us, it can all or changed in different ways. Like with her, it was like an accident, right? In her vehicle. And so to find how can this be an opportunity for you to actually find something better? What would that feel like to be like, wow, I'm intending that it's only getting better from here on. That whatever's next, that this is a blessing here to support creating an actual foundation that I believe in from a new place, from a new standpoint. And then when you're calling in your new home, if that's what you're doing, being really clear that that's the foundation that you are calling in home from, and notice if there's patterns that come up around just wanting to take anything and to be like, wait, this is an opportunity to really work on and play in manifestation and play in claiming what you truly desire. So maybe there's aspects of your home that really didn't work for where you're at, right? Maybe there's parts, little things that could be just simple pleasures, like I want a freaking sauna, and knowing that those can be, you can play with that in calling forth this next place instead of letting it kind of feel like it's a big old smash everything you've created, knowing that what we create and what we hold dear to us actually still stays with us because that's within us. Our passions and our purpose and what inspires us and what we believe in, that stays with us no matter what happens in the world. And it's with that we can continue to redesign and recreate the life and the lifestyle and the homes that we truly wish to grow into and be an expansion of our growth and a representation of that growth in the physical plane. So blessings to all of you. Thanks for popping in on the 52nd episode of Ask the Invisibles. And I look forward to connecting next that we do. Have a beautiful day. I'm going to get my little girl and go to our farm. Blessings. Aloha. I should ring this.